Yes.
Systems up? Yeah? Okay, we're good. Yep.
Good evening. The Town of Cromwell Planning and Zoning Commission's regular meeting of Tuesday, June 16th. I'm calling to order. Alice Kelly, Chair.
Mike Canada?
Andrew Holt.
John Comtois, alternate.
Ann Grasso.
Vincenzo Marfello, alternate.
Rich Norderman?
Okay, at this time, I'd like to have a motion to seat the alternates, please.
I will make that motion to seat the alternates.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approve, is there anything to be added to the agenda, Town Planner?
There's nothing new tonight, no.
Okay, I'd like to have a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
And I will also make that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, public comments, anybody here that's just here for the public, from the public? Okay, moving on. Directors of Planning and Development's report.
Sure, so a few quick things. I did give Bruce the night off tonight because we have a short agenda. He did not have a enforcement report prepared for tonight. He gave one at the last meeting, so I felt like it was appropriate. So a few things I'm going to roll through. AutoZone, the grass was cut in the middle of us seeking a legal opinion, and we're still looking at that because the site plan violation still does remain. So I guess we're halfway on that one. Some progress. Popeyes. Bruce was out there on site today working with the general contractor to replace plantings that have died and also enhance the landscape out there. And also health and the building department are going to be out there tomorrow, I believe, in the building. So those are all good signs that they're moving forward. I don't have a date or anything like that right now, but definitely some movement. I did sign off. Let me back up. 100 Berlin Road plans were approved by this commission. We had some minor staff comments that were to be resolved on the plans, which is typical. It's housekeeping in nature. All the comments that I'm speaking to right now were part of the written comments that were part of the record. So we got the final plans the end of last week, and I distributed them to all the staff, and I had everybody review for any final changes that need to be made. So everyone is signed off, and I'm going to put that on the screen now. The site plan review layout in all of our site plan reviews. This is how I do it. I put all the departments here. And in this way, I've just kept a record of everyone's comment stating that the plans are all set.
Great.
And so I sent this off to Attorney Megan Hope today and Rock of SLR, and they will be preparing the final Mylars to file on the land records. We are expecting demo in July, so it's all moving forward. They're getting ready to close, and they're in a rush to file the plans. So we turned it around very quickly, less than a week, and I'm proud of that, and proud of our staff, all of our reviewers, to do that on quick notice. Any questions on that?
Did they ever find out about the water? Who turned the water on over there?
I do not have any idea. I heard about that, but I can't recall if,
Didn't hear anything.
what the outcome was.
Remember
So.
they had like, what was it? They had a substantial amount of water
3
turned on
million gallons.
from the road at the main line. It had
Yeah.
been all over the place. Over there.
Yeah.
3 million gallons. And
Oh
we
my
figured it out when it was running out the door,
Right.
when police had gone through.
Nobody really knew who did that.
Yeah, so they will be doing, I think PD or the demolition people will be doing a sweep through the building to notify anybody who may be in there to get out before the demo. But really good progress here. Glad to see this moving forward. So these plans do not have the traffic light, but they have been advancing in the meantime these last few months on the DOT traffic light plan, and they do anticipate that most likely that's going to be approved, and that they will file that plan after this one. So the plan they're filing now reflects all of our changes from the
site.
Planning and Zoning Commission approval on March 3rd. And when they have all of the state changes, then they're gonna file a new plan. So you'll see both plans on the land record, so you can see all the changes. All the changes that are being made to this next plan are requested by the state and all of their engineers in a very thorough process, I might add. So, yeah.
Great.
And
So
when I
are
hear
they gonna-
about that, I'll
So
give
when are
you
they gonna open up?
an update. Well, they're demoing.
No, I know, but I mean, so.
Well, so they were on what they told us was they're on a 2-year construction schedule. They hope to build this in 2 years. They're gonna be remediating while they're building. There's a couple buildings on site involved. That could slow down if we have another really bad winter or other unforeseen circumstances, but they are on a kind of a fast track, 2-year process to get it
They
built.
said September of 28,
Yeah.
she had said that the
Yeah,
last
the fall of-
presentation,
right.
that's what they were shooting for.
That's,
2 years.
yeah, it's pretty close.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll see. Fingers crossed, and that's an aggressive construction schedule, and just happy to see it. What's that? Not the Bombas. Well, there was
I
a.
haven't heard that there's been a decline in chickens, you know, that they've been decimated, you know, and they can't import them from China or Taiwan or someplace, so,
Well, there is a beef issue, I hear.
That is true.
yes.
Yeah.
That is true.
As long as it doesn't hit chickens.
So 100 Berlin is in a really good place, moving forward, and then Alice will be actually signing the Mylars probably this week or next. Last piece is August 4th meeting. We typically have a break, I believe, in the July and August meetings. We don't have any public hearings scheduled at this time. I'm not going to be here on August 4th, so I'm going to suggest that we cancel that meeting rather than have Bruce try and run it, you know, to fill in or anything like that. It's not going to throw off our text amendment adoption because we're going to go to the August 14th meeting in order to give us enough time to do our referrals and all of that. So. Even if we needed to go from the June 30th special meeting and have another meeting to continue to hash out the text, we would go to the July 7th meeting. From there, we could still schedule a public hearing at the second meeting in August and be okay on the timeline.
Great.
The second meeting in August is a special meeting, isn't it?
There is an official regular meeting
Is there
date,
one scheduled? 'Cause
I
thought
believe, yeah.
August we only had one meeting that was the first.
I don't think, though, that we really took it off the calendar. as
Yeah,
much as we-
yeah.
So
We
what-
still listed our regular
Right.
meetings,
Right,
even
'cause I
though
think we
I
left
think
them-
there's been a standing policy here in the past that they meet, that you guys meet once in July and August.
And it was kind of like you could choose.
Kind of
Right.
as needed.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I guess,
So that wasn't removed.
no, not,
No.
and it gives us flexibility, that we could
Right.
still hold a regular meeting and then
That's good.
cancel.
Good.
But I guess I'm kind of forcing the hand that I won't be here August 4th, and that may work for our timeline anyhow, so.
So where are you gonna be? We could all go there and have a meeting.
I'll be celebrating my birthday, so.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
I don't
Whoa,
work on
that's
my
even
birthday.
better.
So that's all I have for the director's report. Bruce will be back at the next meeting, I expect, with a development compliance report. We were out at TPC today, taking a look at the whole setup. It was a beautiful day, and things are looking good out there. It's my first time, so it was not just exciting, but interesting.
Oh, that's right.
To see the whole setup and get a feel for how it all works. So that was going good as well.
Good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving parts. It's almost overwhelming. How to put
Yes.
this thing together.
It's
Right.
incredible. It really
It's-
is.
Yeah, it's a lot of moving
Now,
parts.
how
I
many
can-
years
Yeah.
has it been now?
TPC?
I mean, under changing from the Canon and things like the Travelers.
Well, how many years have they had it in Cromwell?
Oh, no, they've had it
They've had it in Cromwell for like 25 years.
more than that even, because it came
Maybe.
from Weathersfield.
Came from Weathersfield Country Club.
Right, but I'm just saying is, yeah, because it really took off under Travelers.
Yes.
Travelers has gotta be close to 20. It's gotta be, because remember it was the Canon for a while and
I think it was 2007.
Yeah, but then it was,
That's
right, Canon, but then it was,
Buick.
Yeah, and there's
For 2 years. I think it was Buick for 2 years.
Right.
I wanna say it was Buick.
And I think Travelers was 2007. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost
Okay.
just about 20
Yeah,
years
so
now.
19 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good for them.
Good
Great
for them,
partner
yeah.
and great event. Glad to have them.
okay. All right.
They charge
All
for
right, so-
insurance, they can afford it. Say that out loud, do that?
I have no new business to accept and schedule at this time.
Okay, great. Okay, so the public hearing, I'll read the public hearing notice. The Town of Cromwell's Planning and Zoning Commission will hold a public hearing during a regular meeting on Tuesday, June 16, 2026, at 7 p.m. in the Town Council Chambers of Cromwell Town Hall located at 41 West Street on the following. 1. Application 26-18. Application for a special permit to sell alcoholic beverages per section 4.3.c.3.1. of the Town of Cromwell zoning regulations at 76 Berlin Road, Highway Business Zone. M&M Hotels, Cromwell LLC, applicant and owner. At this hearing, interested persons may appear and be heard and written testimony received. The application is available for public inspection in the Office of Planning and Development, Alice Kelly Chair, dated in Cromwell, Connecticut, this Thursday, June 4, 2026, and Thursday, June 11, 2026. Okay, a motion to open up the public hearing?
Sure, I'll make a motion to open up public hearing, application 2618.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It does work.
Yes, yeah.
Good.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Milind Patel. I am representing M&M Hotels. We just took over maybe about a month and 10 days ago or so. I don't even know what date today is, month and a half ago. But I'm here seeking for approval for a special permit for serving alcoholic beverages at a highway business location. And I hope you guys will offer the same gratitude that you guys offered the previous owners. I am, again, like I said, my name is Milind Patel. I represent M&M Hotels Cromwell. And that's that.
Now, this alcohol is only for residents of the hotel, is that correct?
Yes, it's only for residents
Just,
of the
you know.
hotel.
No, I
It was,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's all it was the last time.
thought it was open to the public.
No,
No.
Really?
you couldn't get in there. They had a gate around it. You had to go through the lobby.
No, so there is no gate. It's.
Well, no, but when they had the outside
Oh,
portion.
the
Yeah, you
outdoor
couldn't,
patio.
you couldn't go in and sit
No,
and have somebody think that you're a resident. No.
no.
You had to go through the hotel.
Yeah. You gotta go into the hotel and then, you know, so any of you are more than welcome to come there. You can take a look at it. But it's literally adding another amenity that was there for the previous owner. And,
You have a nice menu.
I mean, it's a pretty decent menu. It's all finger food.
I happened to see it,
Yeah.
right. Okay, buddy here on the commission that would like to?
What are your hours over there? What are your hours gonna be?
It's gonna be 5 to 11. Yeah, 5 to 11. At the very latest, 11.
Is that all week and weekends?
Yeah, all week and weekends. Yes. We might, depending on demand, we might not be open on a slow day like today, for example.
Yeah, no.
So yes, this was a previous location with a special permit to serve alcoholic beverages. The applicant's done a really nice job putting together a lot of details about the floor plan and the bar here, even including a menu. Just scrolling through here, another elevation shot of vestibule, kitchen, the buffet area, lounge. Very well done. And a nice color menu for the Spring Hill Suites here with the different offerings of alcoholic beverages they'll have, and some snacks and food.
Now, is it-
So this meets, from the staff perspective, this meets all the regulations for the HB zone. There was obviously a previous special permit here for selling alcoholic beverages at the hotel, and I see issues and have no concerns with the request.
Are there any changes at all?
No,
It's gonna be called Spring Hill still?
it's still Spring Hill. I do have another Spring Hill in Rhode Island as well,
Oh,
and that's how I know how to do all of this.
Good. We're glad to have an experienced operator.
So, and that's approved for liquor as well,
Right.
and alcoholic beverage.
but that hotel there does very well. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's still fairly new, only 5-6 years old, and per Marriott, we do have to renovate in a couple of years, so we'll be doing that as well. But yeah, just to, I guess one of the main concerns for all the guests, because there's a lot of repeating guests, and it's always, hey, what happened to the bar? What happened to the bar? And now that the TPC is coming in,
oh,
it's needed. We get a lot of wedding groups, and it's needed. So
Yeah, you also have a new development that was approved just down the street that if that's built, you may have a lot of new residents who
Yeah.
may come by as well.
yeah,
So,
does anybody here have any questions?
I have none. Your
Okay.
prices are very, very, very good.
thank you.
I mean, compared to a lot of stuff out there, these
Yeah.
prices are amazing.
Right, so,
So,
motion to close the
that
public.
being said, I'll make a motion to close public hearing.
All in favor?
Aye. And I'll make a motion to approve application 2618.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good luck.
Thank you.
congratulations, and
Congratulations.
importantly, you'll get a letter from our office, and there's a form there for the special permit. You have to file that on the town clerk's land records for it to become effective. Don't forget to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
When can I expect?
We should have it, we'll be drafting it tomorrow morning, so hopefully by tomorrow or the next day.
It'll be mailed?
Typically it is mailed, yes, so that would probably be the best way. If you,
Okay, yeah, no
if you
worries.
can hang on for a few days,
Yeah.
we'll get it out tomorrow, and hopefully it'll get there to you
Well-
by,
Do you wanna get it done before the tournament?
Come in.
Well,
If you do, you may wanna pick it up and go right upstairs and file it with the town clerk.
yeah, we can,
Then you'll have literally a 24-hour turnaround.
yeah. And typically, we do have to send it through certified, but I'll create like a sign off for you that you've accepted it,
Okay.
and hopefully that will get you going.
Okay.
Because the mails are now like,
Yeah, I mean,
Who
and
knows?
next week is the tournament, so I'm sure.
Yeah.
oh,
Well, yeah, 'cause
What's that?
Friday's a holiday, so.
Friday, yeah, Juneteenth, yeah.
Right.
That's right.
I just learned that too. I had a meeting today and I was trying to schedule for Friday, 19th, and I'm like, oh, no, it's a holiday. I'm like, what kind of holiday? The Juneteenth. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so give our office a call, maybe sometime tomorrow, and we'll get everything worked out and
Yeah.
get a letter for you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you.
Thanks
Good
for coming
luck.
in. Congratulations. Welcome to Cromwell.
Okay,
All right.
moving on. New business, bond reduction?
Yeah, so I have a memo here from Bruce Driska, the ZEO, about he's requesting a reduction of the performance bond for Hicksville Road, which is an 8-lot subdivision. And I'll just read it off for the record. I recommend that the performance bond from Cromwell Estates 8-lot subdivision be reduced from $20,975.64 to $2,622 to reflect the completion of verified site improvements. The retained bond balance of $2,622 will provide adequate security to ensure completion of the remaining site work associated with the one undeveloped lot owned by the developer within the subdivision. This was dated June 12th, 2026, coming from Bruce Driska to the Planning and Zoning Commission. And as Bruce stated, it was an 8-lot subdivision, 7 have been completed. So if you do the math, that 2622 is the remaining amount allocated just for the one lot. And if you're all in agreement with that,
All the rest
we
of the
can make a
staff is
motion.
good with it?
I personally haven't done any inspections on it. Only Bruce has, to be
Okay.
quite honest. Yeah, but that's not totally unusual for a subdivision. You know, if there's a commercial or any other type of development, and probably in the future subdivisions, I'll be out there inspecting alongside of them, and I'd like to bring the town engineer along with me.
Okay, well, are we ready
Motion?
for a motion?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to reduce the, performance bond for Cromwell Estates 8-lot subdivision to the amount of $2,622, on the recommendation of our CZEO Bruce Driska, in a letter dated June 12th, 2026.
Second, please.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great. Okay, moving
Thank you.
on. Okay, communications, the housing discussion.
Yeah, so you all, excuse me, should have gotten an email from me, I don't know when it was, recently, regarding the update to our housing bill draft report text amendment. So the latest version that we have is dated June 9th, 2026. And I asked that a few things be changed in here. I also asked that, so let me back up. Our last meeting, Commissioner Kanata asked for, some legal opinion, some assurance, some kind of statement about creating our industrial park, or business industrial park, however you want to term it, with reflecting more of the industrial nature and not so much the business park, I guess. So anyhow, I guess that's really the meat of our text amendment, is to modify that particular zone. And so Commissioner Kanata is right to, ask, are we on good solid ground with that? And so I reached out to our consultant, and through him, they have a land use attorney, Peter Olson, who's very experienced, and I've worked with him in the past. And Peter said the following. So this is coming from our consultant, Francisco Gomes from IMEG. He said, I spoke with Peter, and he advises us to go a step further if we want to exclude middle housing from the business park zone. That would include, at the minimum, doing the following. 1, relocate the regulations currently in 3.2D to section 3.3 as section 3.3B. That kind of categorizes it more with the industrial uses. So that makes a lot of sense why they would recommend that. Number 2 is change the name to industrial park zone. We have conflicting names between our GIS, our zoning regulations, and our zoning map. They all say different things, and they don't match. So I'm hoping to get them matched anyways, but I'm glad he suggested that. I think it's appropriate, and kind of further protects us. Number 3 is to separate the business zones from industrial zones in section 4.2D, which is the consolidated use table. And he's stating that's easy to do by providing a separate column header for each. So the uses stay the same, but they're broken out between business and industrial within the zone in the chart. And then the commentary from our consultant. Even then, Peter Olson cautions that none of this has yet to be tested in the courts. The best case law examples we have are based on 8-30G cases, which is a similar but different issue. Our other option is, of course, to allow mixed-use middle housing in the business park zone. This is the best thing that we know how to do, working from what we have, being that this is a brand-new issue for everyone in the state. We have a very qualified consultant. We have a very qualified land use attorney working on this on our behalf, and I think we're in the best position that we can be without knowing something about case law. The other towns and cities that are in our council of government are also doing the same thing. So we're all in the same boat. And as they mentioned in that email, the other option is just to allow middle housing in the business park zone.
Yeah.
And I don't think we want to do that. You know, it's your decision, but this is protecting us, in my opinion, to the best that we know how. And we're talking about all the professionals working on this and the consensus of our Council of Governments. This will, I really do believe this will protect us, and it's gonna take somebody with some money to challenge this with an attorney, you know, to come in here and challenge us.
Well, we've done everything we can do.
Yeah,
At this point, we've done everything we can do on our end, so.
But when you say protect us, I'm not quite sure I know what that means.
so
protect us from
these
having
regulations,
housing
Business park.
in our business park, what is presently our business park.
And then on that, when we put in the word industrial, because you can't say that it stays the same, because at the moment, there is no industry in that name at all up there. I don't know about the maps and things like that. My question is, when you say industrial, what comes into that area that cannot come into that area right now?
so, the uses are not changing.
Uses don't change, so nothing.
And there's a distinction between a true industrial zone where you have heavier, dirtier, more intense uses that are more industrial. And then you have a business park industrial zone, which is, you know, a cleaner type, and it's kind of a mix. It's almost like business and industrial.
So there's no change to the uses ever.
Yeah, so it's really reflecting
know-
kind of like a tandem of business and industrial
It's all about
uses.
the title.
But it's a park.
It is a
So it has
title.
higher standards.
And I'm saying is that when you add a new name in there, you're adding something that right now is just a business park.
No, I disagree. You're changing the title, you're not changing the uses. You're
Right.
not changing the uses, you're not changing anything,
Well,
other than the header.
The header, though, right now just says business park.
Correct.
Now we have it as business park and industrial.
No, not and industrial,
Well-
industrial business park.
Industrial business park.
Right.
There has to be a change because you're saying industrial can come in there.
No, you're not,
Business,
Alice, you're not.
with the change of a name,
You're not.
And like I said, Alice, there's a distinction between industrial and
You're not
business
changing
industrial
the
park.
industrial.
And
No, you're not.
you're not changing the uses.
you're changing the name of a zone.
But you're not changing the uses.
Well,
You could call it the Humpty
Look
Dumpty
at our,
zone, it
this
wouldn't
is our,
matter.
It's gonna
this
be
is
based
our
on the
current,
definition of that name anyway.
Alice, I just want to show you on the screen right now.
No,
This
no,
is
I know, but that's my only concern.
This is our current zoning map that is
Mm-hmm.
filed with the town clerk. It's called a business industrial park, which conflicts with our zoning regulations. So we have a lot of errors.
Oh, okay.
They need to be corrected, but if you look at this,
It's already.
I don't know which one it actually is. I have
I
to
don't
probably go back and figure it all out, but
We know
there's
it's
a,
not straight industrial,
right,
Right.
right.
so.
I'm just making sure that,
Yeah, business indicates that it has business uses.
right, but
and-
also that it also has industrial uses. And I'm
Correct.
just saying is, I would like to know, what does that mean?
And then park indicates that it
That's
has kind of higher
I
standards.
understand your concern, but if you're not changing the uses,
But somebody can come in and say, as you're saying, this is an industrial area.
no.
and-
They have to look at the uses in the area. And if they look at the uses in the area, you could call it Humpty Dumpty's playground, it wouldn't matter.
Okay,
It'd really have to be a use that fits in there too.
Right.
It would have to fit what is a business industrial park, not just industrial.
No, I
So if
understand.
somebody came in with a true industrial use, I would recommend that they don't go to the business industrial park, but they go to the industrial zone. Yeah.
I'm just, I'm just leery, and I hope that I am wrong.
I appreciate your
No, I
concern.
really am, because I don't think that you can change a name and say is it doesn't change anything, because it does.
Well, this is coming from a
No, I
land use
understand.
attorney.
And they said it has to go through the courts anyway, but that's fine, I mean, I'm just concerned that you're gonna have somebody come in there, I don't mean like crushing rocks.
You know, if
and
we
things like
don't
that.
pass these safeguards,
Yeah.
we're gonna be in a reactive position
Yeah, I
for
know.
people to come in and do what they want. This is really protecting us,
Yeah,
and
that-
it's gonna make it very difficult for someone to come in and challenge us.
Okay, yeah, no, I
Yeah.
have, you know, but that's why I said is when you're talking about how it can protect us, how is this protecting us with this name, but now we have something up there, I mean, nothing matches anymore. I
Well,
mean,
that's gonna all get fixed, but at
Yes.
the end of the day,
Right.
the land use attorney
Yeah.
is the bottom line.
Oh,
If
yeah.
he's
And-
saying, this is the best that we've got right now,
And really,
Yeah.
this isn't coming out of nowhere. It's
Right.
on our
Right.
official zoning map.
No,
It's coming
then
from
that's fine.
somewhere.
I'm
Yeah.
if
just-
it's the best we've got right now,
Right.
then we do the best we
And that's
can with
before
what
me.
we got.
right, I'm just bringing up,
That's all we can do.
you know,
Are you just looking for like a distinction between like industrial park and industrial and what the difference is?
yeah,
Yeah.
But we have that.
Right, it's in,
That's already
it's
there.
in the defined terms
That-
of
that
those,
exists
of those two,
In the,
of
right,
those two zones.
Right.
In the use, right.
right.
we
but-
already have it.
That just seemed like with the
Yeah,
question you were asking.
Right, yeah, no, I'm just saying is,
Just by changing the title, you're not changing the use. When you have to go past it,
Right.
the uses are defined under the title.
Nothing changes with the uses. You're
Right.
changing the header,
Right.
that's it.
You're clarifying the header so it's less complicated.
so in the header
More
and
clear.
in what we talk about is the mission of this
Zone.
area here,
Yeah.
we don't have the word industrial at all.
In the revised definition?
No.
Okay, well, that's something to look
There's no
at.
industrial thing there at all. It talks about, you know, a business park, and it talks about, you know, offices and things like that, but nothing about industry. And I'm just asking whether or not that, because now you have this, where is that
But-
word
But the
coming?
attorney has already looked at that, and he's looked at everything.
Well, I'm just bringing up what I've,
I
I'm
trust
asking
the
about
attorney.
why-
And I will take a look at
Yeah,
that,
so
yeah.
your question is that if the title changes the uses,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're saying.
Because there's nothing in when they're talking about the business park, and now it's called the business industrial park. But when you're talking about what it means, in the very back, I said I did not see, he gave a, you know, what it meant, but I didn't see where the word industrial came in there at all. He talked about, you know, business park, kind of offices and things like that, but nothing was with the word industrial.
Good. That's exactly
But the
the,
point, but the point.
that's exactly the
but-
point. We're
right,
not
and
changing
right, and
the description at
The
all.
point is by having business park there, that opens it up to having mixed use as far as residential is concerned. And now, by putting industrial in there, you won't have housing in there.
But maybe we need to reflect our summary to include whatever, you know, piece of industrial type use we have in
Yeah,
there, you know what I
the
mean?
purpose.
Right.
And I
And
read
so
the whole
I
thing,
will
and I said,
Take a look at that.
okay, but it doesn't use the term that we now have there. It's not just a business park. I talked about the business park and all, but now we have a new title. But
With the
it
same
is,
purpose.
right, and it doesn't have anything to do with it. That's my only question is that, you know, I'm nitpicking.
No other questions?
No,
What
I
else do
just
you have?
I just wanted some clarification, I went through it, and I'm just saying is, on page 3, mixed-use middle housing. Building configuration, only one building per lot may, may residential units. So that means that you can only have one building per lot. So what does that mean?
I'm sorry, I was focused on that. Can you
And it's
repeat that for me?
under O, page 3 under O,
Page 305.
yes. 05, I'm sorry. I just, you know, what does that
I'm sorry,
mean?
what, Alice, what are you looking at?
So go to page 3.
3, it says mixed-use middle housing,
Under mixed-use middle housing.
0,
Go to number 5.
Okay.
May contain residential units.
Only one building per lot may contain residential units.
So I don't know what that meant.
So they can't have multiple residential units broken out on one property, that's what they're saying, in different buildings. If you're gonna have residential units, it's gotta be in one building. You can't
Only
have
one building per
three and
lot.
three and three.
So if you have,
Yeah.
if there's 6 lots in there, only one building can have residential units.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I think they're trying to prevent somebody from taking a piece of property and building little buildings everywhere.
Okay, that, I'm just asking the clarification there. And then it
Sure.
says, number 6 under here, it says dwelling units shall not be located on or below first floor.
Right,
reserving first floor for commercial use.
correct,
Okay,
yes.
just wanted,
And there are certain things that are allowed as part of the residential unit, I'm not sure where that falls
Well,
in here.
I went through the
Number
whole-
8,
I have the whole thing. And
Okay.
then number 7, ratio of use, floor area of non-residential use shall not exceed the residential floor area within the mixed-use middle housing building. The circulation of the non-residential use floor area shall be limited to space used exclusively by non-residential use.
so I think they're trying to preserve some, proportionality between the uses and not allow somebody to create a small, little, unusable commercial
Right,
space that makes something
But
mixed
this is mandatory,
use.
they cannot do it, because they use shall not.
Right, right.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's trying to
I'm
preserve
just clarifying as I'm reading these things,
the ratio.
okay? And then, number 8, ground floor non-residential shall be reserved primarily for non-residential uses and shall be limited to those uses allowed in the zone in which the mixed-use middle housing building is located. No more than 25% of the first floor area shall be devoted to supporting residential use, including entrances, way, lobbies, common area, storage rooms, utilities, and other functional spaces.
So when you're building a building, there's certain things you have to have in there, that might relate to the residential use, but it's not an actual unit. And they wanna, again, limit how much of that can be related, so like a staircase or a closet or something like that. They're trying to make sure that, that if there are those, I don't know, it's not quite accessory uses, but those, aspects of the building that are related to the residents, that it's very limited and, not eating up the mixed use area.
Okay, and then number
I-
8,
I think also in that paragraph, it uses ground floor and first floor interchangeably, which can be confusing. So
Like in
Good
our-
point.
maybe it needs to be cleaned up and defined what is what.
Thank you.
Because I know, like, in America, usually the floor you walk in and it's usually the first floor. In Europe, a lot of times, that's the ground floor. And if we're trying to limit development on a certain floor, we should have that well defined.
Thank you.
and then number 9, entrance and circulation separate and clearly defined for residential/commercial.
Yeah.
Entrance provided direct access from public street, sidewalks, and/or pedestrian way. And then internal circulation designed to minimize conflicts between residents, patrons, employees, and service functions. I mean, how?
I think this is just laying out that you need to have separate entrances. They don't want, the residents of the upper floors to have to walk through a bar. They should have a separate entrance, whether it's around the back or
Right.
the side, or kind of separated from the commercial use. So, that makes a lot of sense.
No, I understand
Yeah.
that, but just the way that it's kind of written is kind of a little convoluted. I mean,
Which part did you think was
No,
any
just,
part
you
in
know,
particular?
from the public streets. I mean, maybe all of these can't be on a public street. Or, I know they said pedestrian way. You know, they have to have
Public street,
direct
sidewalk,
access.
Or other pedestrian.
Right, but they have a direct access.
So basically what they're saying is you don't have to walk through the restaurant to get to the
No, I
entrance
know.
to the apartments upstairs.
No,
Right.
you cannot,
But I
Right,
guess
that-
you
Right.
can't have it through the back, like I was just contemplating.
right.
So that might be worth discussing, because I don't know. I guess I have to think about that. What's that?
Parking lots, if you have a parking lot where
Right, yeah, and I don't want somebody to have to go get a variance for something like that if it's appropriate, but,
That's why I just went through these things as I'm
we can
reading them,
explore it.
You know,
But where do you see it can't be in the rear?
There's nothing reflecting the rear.
it says
Yeah.
sidewalk or
It just kind of
pedestrian way.
leaves it as public street, sidewalk, or pedestrian way, which
Right.
It could be a pedestrian way.
in the back,
Or a
supposedly,
Or a
yeah.
sidewalk.
You could have a
Okay.
building that has a sidewalk all the way around it.
But yeah,
Right,
but
but if
say
you
that,
don't, then you might be kind of just
right,
not able to meet the
You
requirement,
could add
so.
a rear access.
so maybe you have to
Yeah.
change something
Or on
there
the
just
side or
to allow.
Yeah, it's just a,
I don't know,
it would be a residential.
Yeah, no,
setback.
just to allow.
The main
I
entrance.
think we're splitting hairs.
We could, better to split hairs in the beginning. That's, just have them
Okay.
look at it, that's how I look
Yeah.
at it. You know, an outside, space, amenities.
every night.
Minimum of 100 square feet of usable outdoor space per dwelling shall be provided for residents, private or common, may include balconies, courtyards, terrace parks, patios, and rooftop. And I'm just saying is 100 square feet of usable outdoor space, is that for the whole dwelling, the whole building?
No, it's per
No, it says
dwelling
per
unit,
dwelling unit.
so,
Per dwelling,
yeah,
but it doesn't say unit.
yeah, it does, space
Oh, I
per
didn't
unit,
copy the
yeah.
unit, okay. I just wanted to be sure that,
Yeah, so that's good, I mean, it
It
provides
says it
something,
may include balconies, courtyards, terraces, porches, so if you have a unit with an outdoor balcony,
that's
and the
nice.
balcony is
yeah,
12 by whatever,
or better off, you can go up to the roof.
but
Okay.
as long as they hit the 100 square feet per
Right,
unit.
yeah. And I was just wondering if
It
the
all
100 square
counts,
feet
right.
was like, you know,
yeah, I was starting to have this thought, does it all need to be outdoors, but it doesn't seem like it does, cause it could be in a private or common space, which may include,
well, I think what they're saying is you could have just your own private space, or it could be a common space, maybe between more than one
You get that.
unit.
As long as you got
and I just wanted to make sure that this number 10 wouldn't prohibit, it does say outdoor space. Like, for instance, if somebody wanted to build some units downtown, how would they get outdoor open space? I'm not quite sure. So maybe,
Well, 100 square feet is really small, so a balcony.
right, yeah, I guess they'd be forced to do a balcony or
Right.
something like that,
Yeah.
but, okay. I was maybe considering excluding downtown, but,
No.
yeah,
put a
maybe we
balcony.
wanna kind of force a balcony, cause it's a little nicer.
Right.
Okay,
Okay, then on page 4, number 11, equipment and service area shall be screened to minimize the visibility from public street and impact on residential units and neighbor property. And,
I had a question on that too. How best do we achieve that?
so mechanical equipment is typically screened by like a screen on the top of the building. I'm not sure how you screen, the AC units that are hanging out of the window, if that's a thing, but, we wouldn't actually see that on a site plan. That would come in as a separate individual permit, but the mechanicals would come in on a site plan and we would screen that with, like it looks like a small, just kind of decorative fencing, basically, yeah.
That's what I've done in Middletown on top of Connecticut Wedding Group's building.
Mm-hmm.
We basically had to build a 6-foot-high stockade fence on the flat roof with all the equipment inside.
Yeah, I've
Uh,
seen higher end kind of architectural stuff. They
Yeah.
also do like false roofs around it. Might be like a false mansard that has a space behind it for
Right.
mechanical
Right.
stuff like
Side of
that.
the building.
Yeah,
Bottom
Yeah.
line is it was part,
Parapets.
when you looked at the building, you didn't really know that that was a
yeah.
mechanical area on top of the building. It just looked like another level of the building.
For loading areas, a lot of times we use like landscape arborvitae's. Depending on the proximity to like a residence or something, we might want a fence and sometimes a combination of both, depending on the severity of the issue.
So it sounds just like it's gonna be unique to each.
Yeah.
There's no one cookie cutter.
Right,
That's
and I'll have my recommendations about how they I'm very, on top of screening. I don't let applicants get by on that because it's very important to neighbors. And a lot of developers just like to skip out on the screening part of it. I think it's very important.
Now I'm down to bicycles.
Okay.
Bicycle parking shall be provided as part of a new multifamily or mixed-use middle housing of 4 dwelling units or more. New retail, office, and institutional developments, and all transit, transfer stations, parks, and ride lots. How many? I mean, when you're saying is that you're gonna provide,
So I know that right now, we currently do have bicycle parking requirements
okay.
in our regulations. And I used it at 100 Berlin Road. They put a bike rack kind of near their entry. So we may want to tie it back to that number, that regulation in our bicycle parking requirements, and give a, I guess, give a number.
Well, no, I'm just saying is because when you take like some of these, you know, like this little thing, now we're going into parks and ride lots and things like that. I mean,
How do you
I
guys
can
feel about
understand-
that?
Right, ask about that because usually the lots, ride lots are not ours. They're the state. Unless they're making a new one, and I don't know if we have that, but also like, you know,
You're talking about commuter lots?
that says ride
So it
lots.
says park and rides, transit transfer
Right,
stations.
transfer station, you know, transit transfer stations, which is probably bus depots and train
Yeah,
stations.
I mean, I would imagine we may not have any plans like that, but if we did get a chance to review it, I would love to recommend that they have a bike rack, you know?
Well, no, but I'm just saying is that I think that we need to tie it to something, you know, cause I said, so how many? I mean, are you saying 2, 5?
You know, I think if you're over 4, then a simple bike rack would work. Because not everybody bikes, and
Yeah.
I think if you have a bike rack with a couple of spots in it, that should cover a 4 to 8, 9 unit development. I don't know. I don't know that we need to really start specifying how many bicycle spaces we're
Well, no,
gonna
but I
have,
just didn't know. What
but
you were saying is-
requiring at least a bike rack would be great,
I
you
think
know?
leaving it open allows us a little discretion if we have a proposal that we
Right,
could-
but it says you shall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is mandatory.
So
Yeah.
they shall have a bike rack?
They shall have a
Yeah,
bike
and-
rack,
and
and we can
that's-
use that as a
Doesn't say how
negotiation.
many
That's
slots.
fine, you know, they
Right.
could have a typical,
No,
like,
but
whatever
I'm
it
just
is,
saying
4
for
slot bike
what?
rack.
Is it a bike rack, or do they need to have bike things? Or, you know, a bike rack is just, you put your bike in there, right?
Yeah,
And you can
and,
chain it.
and that's what we required for
Okay.
100 Berlin.
All right,
Yeah.
that's the only reason I was just, when I read that, I says, okay, so what does that really mean? Cause it says you shall. So that's it.
Right, yeah, and then the number's not defined, but, you know, a simple bike rack with a couple of slots will work for these
Yep.
developments, depending on what it is, you know, we may request more, but, it's good to know that it is there in some form, so somebody can
No, I
ride their
was-
bike
yeah.
if they want to.
No.
It's not very prevalent, so.
Wear your helmet.
Yeah.
It's a scary thought, isn't
What?
it? Riding bikes on 372?
You should see 'em
Scary thought.
on Shumpike, on
Same
Willowbrook
thing.
Road.
Well, Willowbrook's not as bad as Shumpike or 372.
Coles Road is a little dicey. I see him on there.
Evergreen Road from Willowbrook Road to Shumpike had 20 cars come down when I came from work. I counted them. Just from the farm, as I would say, down to Shumpike. I was shocked.
They were going to get ice cream
No, we don't have any ice cream.
on Willowbrook, there's an ice cream.
Yeah, but no, they were coming from there down to Shumpike. I says, my God, there must have been an accident. No, really, I mean,
You should come to my house then. Got about 100 cars coming there within 2 hours.
And you're not even giving out free ice cream.
Yeah, and there's no free ice cream.
boy, I heard you were, and then you closed up.
Any other
No, I
points
just-
of interest
no,
in your notes?
I just wanted,
Okay.
because I
I'm
did
good.
read it, I'm good.
Anybody else have anything that they want to speak about in relation to this amendment or any concerns they have, any suggestions, or just, you know, something that jumped out to them that they'd like to see looked into prior to the June 30th meeting.
I'm ready to button it up, get it done.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do need to explore where we're gonna have our transit middle housing zone.
Oh.
I guess we can still do that at the meeting, the June 30th meeting. I could come with a draft. And if,
Do you have any ideas so that we can?
yeah, well, yeah,
look it
so,
over?
we discussed the area of Main Street, I think near the Asia Grocers, going north to some of the farmland there that's still vacant. I think that would be good because it would help preserve anything that's developed new under this new law. The other areas that we have are the northern tier, which we're gonna modify, it seems, so, I don't know that that really is appropriate, cause it would be off limits to middle housing.
Yeah, don't waste it.
The other areas that we had are either downtown or the highway business zone. And I don't think anybody really felt too overly strongly about either of those zones. We don't have to put a parking mitigation zone anywhere, or we could. So, that's where I stand. I think the one on Main Street seems like everyone's in agreement on. I'm kind of torn myself about the highway business zone or downtown, so.
Parcel behind the new medical building.
Oh, off of Shumpert.
Yes,
Off the
I know the one, yeah. And I had suggested putting it on there, if you guys remember in one of the early meetings, and,
Yeah.
and extending it, and, you guys just weren't in favor of
Well,
it, so.
it's not a matter of in favor or not in favor. That parcel is peppered with wetlands. So it's a tough development.
Isn't that a business park zone now?
It's coming in
Yes.
from West Street,
Right,
isn't
so
it?
that's.
I think that's,
Yeah.
isn't
would
it?
go to
Yeah.
so that would go to
That's part
industrial
of the-
park zone, wouldn't it?
Well, would it? That's the question.
Well, if we change if we're
No,
changing that.
we're only changing that one area,
Right, but that area that Mike is referring to is
but that could stay.
the business park zone, so why,
So would-
so we don't need to use the parking.
Would you wanna change that to industrial business park as well?
I think it is already, is it?
Yeah,
I'm
it
sorry.
is. Yeah, it is.
It is, so you wouldn't even need to use that there.
Is
because
that
it's-
an
It's that
industrial?
BP right there,
Right.
yeah.
So you don't really need to.
Okay.
Don't waste it.
Don't waste
Waste
the
it.
parking mitigation
Yeah.
there if it's already gonna be
Yeah.
the
Gotcha.
industrial park zone, or the, as
Whatever,
it is now
right.
business park, you don't need to use it.
True.
What about the area behind, on Route 3 and Court Street?
Route 3 and Court.
On where the open field is, where that housing development has been kicked
No.
around a few times.
Well,
Oh, no, that's
They're-
going
That got
in.
They're
approved.
coming in.
That got
We
approved.
approved that.
Right, but if you change ownership again, or what if there's I don't know.
No, we
It's,
approved it.
it's going forward.
It's going
Yeah,
forward
it's been
as it
approved,
was.
yeah, it's been approved, and
Yeah.
they're coming in to meet with us for building permits soon.
Yeah, if we change anything there, we're buying a lawsuit.
Can I ask,
So-
is there access off Route 3 into that new development, or is it only off Court Street?
Both.
It was both.
Oh.
It's both.
I didn't have to
like-
answer that one.
Yeah.
I didn't know the answer, so thank you.
The
Yeah.
original, I didn't think had any access from Route 3.
Yeah, it did, right by Mom and Pop's
Right,
package store. In fact, they mentioned that they were gonna retain the little boulevard type of entrance with stone walls and white picket fence, or,
I must have missed that now.
yeah.
Didn't they, wasn't it, they didn't have those houses at first and now they do? Is
No.
that what it was? Those houses that are next door
no, they don't,
No,
no.
to Mom and Pop?
No,
No,
the lot has frontage on both.
it has frontage
know
on
it
has
both,
fr-
I
there's
know it has
entrances
frontage.
on both,
I was worried about the traffic coming
and I
through.
thought that they were gonna do some retail there,
Okay,
but the retail
you're
has
right.
been eliminated, and they're opening up the front to a bigger entrance onto Route 3.
it's just Route 3 is so busy in that area that I
Yeah.
was, thinking if it was only Court Street, it might be safer.
That's both.
Mhm.
And I think they have to put in turning lanes and all kinds of goodies.
Yeah.
turning lanes and crosswalks and
Oh, yeah.
crossing lights.
We were discussing that.
And you're
Remember
gonna
all that?
You're gonna have to widen the road.
We didn't think it was wide enough to, do
But
that.
there were.
They,
Remember
they,
the
they
Green
took
Six
some land
Streets
from
when we
snow on the
did that?
corner
They are widening.
that became town land. They did a little swap of some sort, cause I remember we had to do an 8-24 for them to do the swap.
You're talking about Shunpike still?
Yeah,
There were off-site improvements to improve the road, yeah, as part of,
already-
and
they-
I
they
believe
have-
there was a third party, even a third party traffic study?
yep.
Yeah, we have a crossway going from that area into a little hill, you know, that you can cross there. Where you're gonna go is beyond me. You know, there's no sidewalks or anything.
I think there was gonna be a sidewalk improvement to the north to where the daycare is,
They
No.
have to
Who's gonna
cross the
do it?
street for that.
the
Does it-
developer.
No, 'cause it's across the street, he doesn't own that property.
The
That
approved
daycare
plans
is
are on the
across-
land
it's on
records.
the other side.
They're approved, yeah, and they're on the land records.
Right, yeah,
They're actually
yeah.
sitting on my desk right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah, no, it looks good, but yeah, I mean, but they did put that in, you know, and I went,
Well, long story short
Sure.
is it isn't worth changing anything.
no.
There.
So now where do you
I don't
think,
know if I
so
have
we
it.
have one of those parking things.
So we don't have a deadline for the traffic or for the
no,
parking mitigation
for,
zone,
no.
do we?
So we can continue to explore it, or we could adopt one and then continue to, yeah, look
Yeah, we
into
just
the
gotta
other.
think about vulnerable areas kind of thing and just.
So Asia Grocers.
Yeah, I'm
and
thinking that
Gardens Dream
there
and
was
Pride's
some,
Corner.
maybe this parcel is vacant, or
Talking
this
those,
one?
Yeah.
Cause if somebody comes in with enough money, Pride's Corner or Gardens Dream could sell out in a heartbeat. And those are
Yeah.
two huge parcels. And at the end of the day, it's all about money.
Oh,
So
it's
this
always about
one,
money.
up through, I think the active adult, these are vacant farmland parcels, I think that we were looking at.
Yeah.
Doing parking mitigation in this area up through here. And then you get to, obviously to the business park, which will be exempt from middle housing. Yeah, so not, I don't feel like the places are really jumping out at us screaming, this is where we need it, but, we've got maybe one that seems like a viable option and some other areas to think about.
Once they're set, can they be modified or changed?
I would assume so. I think we would just need to go through the whole public hearing process again, noticing, public hearing, and
I don't think it's the
referrals.
worst idea in the world to keep one in our back pocket in case we need it, or if something starts is glaringly obvious to us.
Yeah,
then we can
we
choose
would just
to-
have to do that before somebody files
Right,
an
it might be too
application,
late.
obviously.
Well, that's true too, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, almost to your point, nothing's really jumping out to us like, hey, we really need it here. There's the one spot maybe here in town along Main Road like we talked about. Other than that, we're not really sure. I mean,
We need four.
maybe it'll be a long time before some of these areas are redeveloped or.
Stop where you're talking about.
So along Main Street here,
Okay, we
I
can't
think
do
this is the
these,
Asia
but you
Grocer
can do the
site.
second one.
Following it up through this active adult zone, these are vacant
Yeah.
parcels here that could be developed at some point.
That's the TPC
That's the
parking lot,
parking lot
yeah.
they use.
Right here, but they use this up here, right?
No,
They use those fields that they just hayed, that's why they cut 'em.
Okay. But so if it was to be developed, if TPC went away, and someone wanted to develop these sites, we would have it there.
I would say, yeah, if we definitely have the extra acreage, if we could stretch it that far, why not?
So I
'Cause it
think
has
it's,
to be contiguous.
it's not really, in my mind, an immediate concern. This is more like the long game. This is more like you're protecting it for the long run, years from now if TPC were to ever leave and, the remaining larger parcels in town were developed.
TPC doesn't own active adult, does it?
No,
That was
Gardner.
Gardner.
So can
Gardner.
active adult
Okay.
be mixed use?
No,
That's a good
but
question.
that can't be developed, cause TVC couldn't run their tournament, they wouldn't have parking.
But it's not
Yeah, but they
TPC's
don't
But
own
they
land.
don't
Yeah,
own
right.
it.
They don't know.
Gardner, it's a private owner.
Right.
Gardner owns it.
Gardner.
So that's
Gardner got
that's a
good enough
question
offer on
we
it,
need
he'd
to
sell
know
it
the
just
answer
as
to.
fast as.
Yeah,
You don't think TPC would top that up?
I've already gone through this and I keep forgetting the answer because this is a very complicated bill, obviously, with a lot of twists and turns. You could go down rabbit holes. I believe floating zones, I'll have to get back with him. We've talked about floating zones, but I feel comfortable. That's what I remember, but I can't give you an answer right now. I don't remember exactly how that works. So
Yeah.
sorry.
No, well, it's just if active adult could be used as mixed, then that might be an area we need to focus on as well.
I agree
Because
with
you're
that.
just, I mean, that could go just as easily as anything else.
Okay.
Because even in the Asia market area, there's actually a lot of parking adjacent. I would be very worried about the active adult area not being protected.
Right.
Yeah, the areas are Asia Market, Garden Stream, Pride's Corner,
I understand.
and this.
And I did discuss these active adult areas with our consultant and putting the parking mitigation there, and he didn't stop me. So from what I remember, it was something that would be viable.
So
But
those-
I'll
that may
triple
be the
check
four
that.
spots, depending on how it works out acreage-wise.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah.
but
Can
you
it be
see,
four
active
spots?
adult is its own zone,
Could be two contiguous,
Right,
or
it's
two
about-
spots.
but it's
Yeah,
not a
that's
mixed,
the point.
it's not,
But could you put that in active adult is my question. Could you do mixed-use housing in active adult?
no, cause it's by itself. That's what it was designed for, that it is for active adult. And it's in our zoning regulations with all kinds of rules and regulations.
Yeah, but the housing bill throws all that
Well-
in the garbage.
Not necessarily.
Well, it's not a commercial zone.
No, it's not necessarily. I mean, because that was already in there. That would have to be a change of zone. Cause it is,
I think what happens is somebody comes into a floating zone, they have to provide a master plan of how
Yeah.
it's gonna work first, and then we approve that master plan, and then it goes to the site plan. But I'll dig into that more. We are gonna be working with this same consultant, IMEG, on our own Cromwell zoning regulation rewrite. So we'll have more time to dig into our regulations and also consider, a parking mitigation zone elsewhere.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's probably the best route,
And I
really,
think
to
it's a
go.
benefit that we have the same consultant also, because he's already aware, he's been working with us on this. And when we go to the full rewrite, he's gonna have all of that already in his mind, so. Anything else from anybody about the report or the potential text amendment? I did have them define, decision considerations.
I guess I just have one.
Yep.
On the industrial park district, it's, it says quiet, clean, and high-quality environment. Is there anything I don't remember if it's in there or not. Is there anything about sound, like decibel levels and stuff like that?
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. We rarely speak to that, but I think the intention would be that the more noisy type of uses go to industrial. Because in a park setting, even though you have industrial type use, you also have business uses that are compatible. And it's in a park setting. So it's not as it shouldn't be as loud as uses that are in the industrial zone, if that makes sense to you.
It
Well,
does.
look at the Murphy's problem.
Yeah, I just think, I don't know if it's it says quiet, and it's like, well, who's, your definition of quiet and my definition of quiet
But
might
that
be
might,
two different things.
and I will discuss that with him.
Yeah.
But maybe that
But we also
creates some
have
type of
a
distinction
rule for
between
decibels.
industrial
Don't we?
and the business industrial
We
park.
have a thing on decibels.
Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah,
idea
it's
that
by
it's a
ordinance.
park, it's
By
probably one developer, multiple tenants, and you don't want one tenant pissing off another, so they might
But we
police
also have
themselves
an
on it.
ordinance
Yeah.
Right, and then we
regarding
have-
And I
decibels.
think in a park, you have cleaner industrial uses. You might have a guy who's doing some type of industrial use, but he's probably doing it in a building. It's enclosed, you don't see it. where in an industrial zone, you could have outdoor storage and all of these things in it.
Industrial zone, you could have a hammer forge.
Right.
I mean, it would be allowed in an industrial zone.
Yeah, so I really do feel there's a distinction.
Generators and big AC units and things of that nature that do a lot louder than your conventional, things that could be maybe in an industrial park, so maybe that needs to be a little more broadly defined.
Well, we have an ordinance regarding that in the
True.
town.
Regarding decibel levels.
Right, for the town of
In
Cromwell.
the entire town.
In the entire time?
Yeah.
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 But by noise standards, it's fairly loud.
The ordinance allows fairly loud?
Not very loud, but
No,
it's
fairly.
fairly loud.
Is it all the time, or is it just during quiet hours?
No, it's all the time.
It's all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, cause we had at one point, there was a crusher, or a screener that wanted to come in, he ended up having to do the noise thing.
He failed.
100 feet from the screener, actually, he passed, I'm going back years ago. But the police had to go there, and they paced off 100 feet, and he had the thing going full bore. And the backup alarm on the loader was what set him higher than the decibel level.
Than the machine.
And the backup alarm is required by
It's an
OSHA,
OSHA,
and
yeah,
nobody
you
can
can't
do
get
a
rid of
damn
it.
thing about it.
It's on there.
Yeah,
I mean, you could pull that wire if you want.
yeah, good luck with that. But I do remember distinctly, it was the backup alarm on the loader that was causing the problem, not the screener. It was a screener, not a crusher. That being said, I'll make a motion to, we can't do the regular minutes, because we don't have the right people here. But we can, that's of May 19th, but we can do the June 2nd minutes.
Does anybody have any changes?
Any changes to June 2nd?
Okay, make a
So I'll
motion.
make a motion to accept and approve those minutes as presented for June 2nd.
And read who can do it.
Do we have a
I
second?
guess we're all here, so we can.
Everybody that's here can
Right,
do it.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
Commissioners' comments?
thank you very much
Seeing
for
none,
coming.
motion to adjourn.
Right.
Thank you, everyone. We have a special meeting on June 3rd.